Shot at redemption is on the cards for our Black Ferns as they prepare to go head-to-head with France in the semi-finals of the Rugby World Cup tomorrow. As brilliant as the Black Ferns have been at the tournament so far, they've lost their last 4 games against France. The most recent, a 29-7 defeat on last November's Northern Tour. So on the eve of the match, I'm thrilled to be joined by former Black Fern superstars Vania Wolfgram, Tammy Wilson and 2017 Rugby World Cup winner Eloise Blackwell. Tēnā koutou I tēnei ata. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. How are we feeling about it?
Really excited.
Yeah, no, really
Yeah.
So excited that it's tomorrow. We're all excited.
How tough is it going to be, Eloise?
I mean, there's, as you just said, we haven't won in the last 4 games, but there's no time like the present, and with the way that the girls have been going, I think tomorrow, Saturday at Eden Park, it's going to be an epic battle out there, but it's definitely achievable for this group of girls.
Tammy, when you look at how they've been playing and how they are as a team together, what do you think?
I'm really excited by what I see, and I think that we all know sort of some of the adversity that the team as a whole have been through sort of over this past year, and I think if anything that's helped but galvanise the team. And I think you're in front of your whānau, you're on home turf. There's no time like the present for our ladies to step up, and I think what I've seen from them so far, they've given every indication that that's what's it's all going to be fireworks. Guy Fawkes might come early tomorrow.
and Vania, they look great. I mean, they look like they're having fun. Is sometimes that half the battle?
I think this group of girls, you can tell that off the field they're really well connected. I think that's really important, and you see that when they're expressing themselves on the field. I think it also helps that the whole of Aotearoa have got behind them. The crowds have been surreal. I'm still on cloud 9 from the opening game, so yeah, the girls are pumped. Yeah.
I wanted to ask about that because it must be intense, the scrutiny now, right? Because everybody is on board, which is wonderful, but does that come with a different pressure, Eloise?
We often talk about in the Black Ferns that type of pressure is a privilege, and that is the chosen group of players to take on that privilege of having that pressure. And I think, as Tammy touched on, like personally, I never expected our country to get behind it as much as they have, and it's been like so awesome to be out there in the crowd and involved in that, and I couldn't even imagine what it's like for the girls running out to such support, and I think that in itself is going to help lift their game even more, because it's amazing.
Because it is wonderful to see, isn't it, Vania and Tammy?
Yeah, they'll have to embrace that pressure, and I think as from day 1 through to now, I mean, it's their final, literally. There's no game after this if there's, but just they've experienced what that's like now. It's been a couple of weeks. The more time that they have spent in cap, the better that they've gotten. So yeah.
And I think the other thing to think about is that there are really big game players, and there are players that have experienced, on the world stage, these pressure moments. And I think that experience, as well as having the likes of, ex-All Blacks and ex-Black Ferns coming into camp over the period of the campaign, has helped really rally the enthusiasm and also settle some nerves, and, imparting words of wisdom and advice in those big moments.
So we're going into do or die basically against France, as they like to say in sports circles this weekend. Tammy, what would you be saying to the team?
I think, don't change what you're doing. I think that the preparation, the management, the coaching staff, that they've put in place has demonstrated, there's a real, galvanising sort of, and momentum within the team. I think there's confidence, and I think it really is about embracing this opportunity at home. A lot has been made about the French, but they haven't come up against our girls this year, and so it's not about looking back to what's happened previously. This team needs to be judged on the merit of those that take the field, and they've done a sterling job so far, so I hope that it continues.
Vania, what would you say the big differences are between how the French play and how the Black Ferns play?
Yeah, well, again, I think the girls have been a little bit unpredictable. So, it was only last week. Now we've got the combinations, and so that's one thing that the French will have to come up against. I know the French are very good ball players. Their pivots are very good around the ruck, and they're a kicking team. But, you know, I'm not biased. Our girls are very good with ball in hand. We've seen it. The offload game has been, you know, just real phenomenal. And they've been really strong. They will have to come. They've got to come. They've got to front up. That's one of the things.
You mentioned the kicking, and I've got a stat here that says they kicked 22 times against Italy and regathered 14 of those. Is that quite a frightening statistic?
Yeah, I think credit to the Italians. Their defence line was very, very good. That was really hard, so they had to revert back to that kicking game. It is a huge stat, but I think we've got the players in the lineup to actually be able to manipulate some of that. So.
Yeah, I'd say kick to us and see what we can do.
You would have played against them, Eloise. What's it like to play against the French?
Yeah, they're a very physical team. They're heavily driven by passion and, you know, celebrating every single win that they get. But in saying that too, they're an easy team to crack if you can keep applying that pressure. And I think tomorrow we're probably going to see a little bit of that. And, you know, we talk about the kicking game. Well, no team in this World Cup has been able to counter-attack like the Black Ferns, so yeah, kicking.
How about that? That's great. How important has it been? Like, what's it been like to see a Rugby Women's World Cup here? Because I don't play rugby, but it's made me feel really emotional. And then the football, the All Whites have the World Cup, and it's been great, hasn't it?
Kiwi Ferns have just
the Kiwi Ferns, yeah.
Okay. I think this is, you know, for those of us, I'm a little bit sort of older than the ladies here, but certainly when we first started playing, you know, the World Cup, this would have been a dream to play, you know, let alone in the Southern Hemisphere, but certainly a home World Cup. So, you know, for a lot of the girls, you know, that have gone before, this is what we've always dreamed of, and the opportunities here for the ladies. And I know they understand, they get it. They know what it means and how important it is to the legacy of this jersey.
And to see kind of the, you know, sold out Eden Park and things like that, I mean, it's just fantastic, isn't it, for the game?
I've just been so overwhelmed by everybody talking about it, you know, on the radio, every single radio station, they're talking about it. I've taken my kids to the dentists are talking about it, the shopkeepers. I think for the girls, I mean, it's been so you can tell, so excited about it, that, you know, for Aotearoa, it doesn't stop here, you know. It'll be awesome to continue this energy and this vibe for years to come, and the legacy, we just can't go backwards. But for our girls tomorrow, I think the encouragement for them is that not only are the old girls behind them, the whole country, you know, our ingas, our family are right in behind them. And we also tautoko our Kiwi friends as well as our, you know, with the football friends, because it's women in sport, right? That's what we are all in here supporting.
All right, so tomorrow, would we put any, you know, what are we thinking the score line is going to be? Obviously, we're going for Black Ferns. How do you think it's going to go? Does it just not matter? We just want the win.
Oh, yeah, that's almost
tough
a loaded question.
That is.
No, of course, you know, we want nothing but success for our ladies, but I also, you know, don't want to lose sight of the progress that they've made as a team. Certainly from where they've come from, the Northern Tour, that's really in the past now. I think they've put that one to bed, and so I think that, I mean, you know, talk about the momentum in terms of the popularity of the team. I think that's also because of the professionalism of our ladies on and off the field, and certainly the personalities that have emerged out of, you know, there's some ladies that have really put their names out there, and it's exciting. On the field, I think it'll take care of itself. I'm more than confident that they'll do what they need to do, and we look forward to it.
And they're already a huge success, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming in here ana kia koutou. Tammy Wilson, Eloise Blackwell and Vania Wolfram. Thank you so much for your time this morning.